Intentional packaging is music to my ears. Today on Unpacked, we are going to take a listen to some. Some brands are just over the top intentional about their packaging, and today's brand is one of them. And my friends at Sonos have just over the last several years, I think they go way back. It's a premium product, and I think they've always been really intentional about their packaging. But over the last several years, their intentionality to sustainability and really doing things differently has been what has set them apart in this space. And so we are going to look at their Roam packaging. This was we're going to call this the no foam Roam. They set out to create this kind of foam-free packaging, and the level of detail that they went through, I don't know that I'll be able to summarize it as well, but they went through every detail. They wanted to separate and distinguish themselves from all of the kind of black and white consumer electronics that was out there, using coated papers and things like that. And so they went on this journey to find like an uncoated paper, first of all, like looking at this thing, that led them to actually developing their own paper that had the characteristics that they wanted it to, that had the print characteristics, which for uncoated paper is a big deal. Usually that coating allows the ink to kind of sit and lay, and uncoated paper usually kind of wicks in and bleeds and does things, and it's very challenging. So it's kind of like great, they put ink on kraft paper, but it's not always that easy. But the level of detail they went through, they couldn't find the right paper that was going to work, so they wound up working with mills to develop the right spec paper that had the right characteristics and base fibers and everything else, because they really wanted to have this natural kraft look without adding coatings and without going to that level. But yet they still did some really interesting things to set it apart by just the way they printed on it, doing some embossing and there's a little bit of I don't know if you can see, maybe not, some little sheen to this, to the Sonos logo, or to this image of the speaker product. But anyways, they just went through all sorts of crazy detail, and we just wanted to take a look at that today. First thing you'll notice is it has this little hang tab. And my first thing was, well, what's that? It's paper-based. They use paper fibers to create this thing. I don't know if it was like I don't know what exactly those fibers were, if it's more of like a jute or something, but again, their intentionality to be recyclable. If we open this thing up, you'll notice it's just a telescoping box. That thickness, all that stuff that just says really premium. What is super hard to do is to create something that's premium, but also super minimalistic, right? And so they have erred towards premium, but premium with intentional recyclability, and some interesting moves. So, rather than loading foam and doing a bunch of other things in here, which a lot of brands will glue foam inside of these things, consumers don't take them apart, makes these things non-recyclable. And so they've really made some intentional moves away from that. The way that this thing you open this up and this sits out proud, again, just they were really trying to highlight the product. We'll talk about that here in a second. Then this here, they've got, I don't know if I can get this apart. No, this is glued in. But they basically have this fine pulp tray inside of this telescoping bottom. They've got this cord here in a really simple wrap, and then they've got these setup instructions here in this little sleeve. They did fantastic work, and they've done this across other products. Maybe we'll look at a couple of the other products here. This is probably the one thing I'm not sure what this case, this little bag here is made out of, if this is like a cotton based or what it is, but still very premium feeling. It's just a beautiful product, done in a beautiful way. I'm singing its praises. No, I think Sonos has done some fantastic work in their packaging, and I just love the level of depth that they went through to not just accept coatings or not just accept things the way they were. Yeah, hats off, Sonos. Anyways, thanks for watching Unpacked. If you've got something you think we should check out, hit us up in the comments below. Thanks.